There's a lot of talk about what gameplay the next Final Fantasy should have. While everyone is allowed their own personal preferences, I think there's just a largely misguided sense in the community regarding where this franchise should go. Lots of people want the next Final Fantasy title to be turn-based in the style of older Final Fantasy games. Ignoring the fact that a majority of the Final Fantasy games were already not turn-based, it's still a weird expectation to have for the franchise. A lot of people are looking at the successes of games like Baldur's Gate 3, Expedition 33, and Persona 5 to justify a turn-based system, but this seems to ignore two very important factors. Firstly, the major proponent of this direction seems to be focused on the game doing well. In that case, I'll mention that none of these turn-based RPGs have beaten God of War Ragnarok or Elden Ring in terms of sales. Does that mean Final Fantasy should be a third-person action game or a Souls game? Not necessarily. The second thing that's missed is that the developers of Expedition 33, Baldur's Gate, and Persona wanted to make a turn-based game. Final Fantasy's developers are not necessarily interested in making those kinds of games. As the games developed, the teams working on them changed, each team having a unique vision for the franchise. The reason the most recent Final Fantasy games weren't turn-based probably doesn't have much to do with getting the most sales, but was simply what those developers wanted to make. These two factors make it clear that there isn't as big of an incentive to make the next game turn-based, unless the developers really believe that's the best direction for the next project. I think the next Final Fantasy game will be in whatever style the developers want it to be in, and if you can't accept that, I don't think you're a real Final Fantasy fan.